Hey guys, it's Patreon collage sheet time again. It's September. Oh my gosh, it's come around so quickly. So yeah, just running through with you guys the collage sheet offerings for this month, what you can expect to receive and the thinking behind them and what to do with them and all that kind of razzmatazz. So the first one you're looking at, we're doing the $5 tier first, guys. So first one you're looking at is a full A4 sheet. This I did a watercolor leaf autumnal printing tutorial for one of the videos this month, and so this is some of the artwork that I did in that tutorial. So I'm giving it to you so that you've got it. You can, obviously you can do your own. It's really fun to do your own, but if you don't want to, you can use mine. So this makes us like a really nice kind of background for your journal pages if you want to start talking about, documenting and talking about autumn. Works really nicely printed on vellum if you wanted to make like a nice little insert or a dashboard or something like that. Anyway, something to get your journals and planners looking all autumnal. Next up, I have another video for you this month, guys, showing you how if you weren't aware, you just joined Patreon or you're new or whatever, or you didn't see the post, we're having a swap for the Patreons, and it's a tip-in swap. So the idea is you get a swap partner, and you create 7 pieces of art that are tip-in. One's got to be an ATC size, one's got to be a 3x4, and one's got to be a postcard. And the other 7 can be like whatever size you like. So I videoed myself creating all of my tip-ins for my swap partner, and I've made them available for you guys as well as collage sheets. I can't swap with everybody, but at least in the collage sheets you'll get them. So yeah, and I photographed them at various stages. Obviously you can see like some of this is kind of like mixed media. Do you know, a lot of my stuff that I create at the moment is with watercolors, and there's a really good reason for that. I very much need to buy some new acrylics. I pulled some out while I was doing some bits this month, but guys, my acrylics have all dried up and gone all crusty. They're so old that I desperately need to buy some new acrylics. And my pro markers have all dried up now as well. They're also really old, so I need to save up some money to buy. I've only got watercolours at the moment. I need to save up some money, and I need to buy some Copic markers. I'm going to replace my pro markers with Copics, I think. Copics. Yeah, so I basically need to buy new acrylic paint and new pens, and then I'll be able to start doing some different types of collage sheets for you guys, and also different art tutorials. But until then, unless suddenly I get loads of new Patreons, yeah, please join my Patreon. Um, yeah. So hopefully, I have started to save. So hopefully I'll be able to start bringing you some different things other than just watercolor all the time. But these, you've got the bunny. He's watercolor. And these are mix of collage and some distress stains and things. So you've got a couple of 3x. The bunny's the ATC. You've got a postcard. You've got some 3x4s there in different colourways. The bottom one was for like a postcard size I did, and I have also made those into 3x4s. Like one's just like a journal card, so you could write on that. The other one's a nice quote card. And then this one you could do anything with, really. You could like do it as a postcard, a tip-in, a background, cut the flowers out and just use the flowers as die cuts, whatever you want to do, More of the cards that I made, when I make stuff like this, I do like to have a play around with it, change the colorways, maybe put some texture. I basically like alter them in Photoshop. I love altering stuff in Photoshop. So these two were actually started life as the same card, but like they've both been altered using Photoshop, and yeah, layers and altering and stuff. So the cat, you could cut the cat out and use that as a die cut, or you've got like the journal card, the tip in, or a background. I don't tend. I starting to do more things as different sizes, but I kind of think like you could use your printer settings or whatever to make this big. I try and make them fairly big for you so that you can like scale them down if you want to, or what have you. So you can just have a play around. It's September, and September is normally like back to school, and you know that quote from You've Got Mail about buying her a bouquet of freshly sharpened pencils. I just feel like September is definitely like a pencily, stationary, cozy type of month. So, these pencils, these have been digitalized. I did actually draw these pencils and watercolor them, and then I enhanced them in Photoshop, made them digital. Another thing I really really want to save up for is an iPad. I really really want, or a tablet. I don't really care that much. Like I want an Apple Pencil, I want an iPad, I want an Apple Pencil, and I want Procreate, because I really really would love to kind of do some like digital artwork as well. But to be quite frank, guys, that is a long way off. A long way off yet. I need like new acrylic paint first, and other stuff, and to pay my bills and to feed my family. But yeah, that is a real goal of mine. I'd love to have an iPad and Procreate and like make some digital art. Anywho, so you've got my pencil there with some different months on, and like today, back to school, school memories. Got a blank pencil wreath and some couple of wreaths there, and some ones that you can write on. You know me, every month you usually get a wreath, like a circly, I call them a wreath, but you know what I mean, like a round type of journal spot. You usually get one of those every month from me because I like doing them, and this month happens to be pencils, and I'm quite proud of those. I quite like the pencils. Some more of those cards that I created for my swap partner, so you get those too. I mean, like this one, like you don't have to, the green one, you don't have to use that as a card if you don't want to. You could use that as a background. You could tear it up and use it as collage. You don't have to, just because I've done it as like a 6x4, a 4x6 card tip in, doesn't necessarily mean that's how you have to use that in your projects. Experiment. This is the complete version of tutorial that I did for the $10 tier, and yeah, this is intended to be cut up and used as collage for backgrounds or individual like squares, that kind of thing. So just something for you to have fun with and play around with. You guys are on the $10 tier will totally know what I'm going on about, like the whole reason behind it, because it's your tutorial. Okay, so on to the $10 tier. You guys have got different colorway of more of the leaf stamping. I struggled to remove the background on this one, so the background is grey, but I thought I would leave it so that you could cut the leaf out and use it as a die cut leaf. So by leaving it on grey, you can kind of see the yellow better for cutting out. So that was kind of my thinking there, but I thought you'd like to have some more of those leaf prints and the full complete sheet as well. And here we've got some more of those tip-ins that I postcard size tip-ins that I created for my swap partner. So my swap partner received the original of the one on the left. The one on the right I created digitally with some other artwork that I have. So that's how that was created. Loving that hot pink, man, loving it. Got a full size for you guys of that watercolor flower, so again you can use that as your backgrounds or whatever, or you've just got like you know, larger size flowers to play with. Some girls that I was playing around with. I really love the one with the fox hair. I really like her. Um, the black and white one, she was just something that I was kind of playing around with and sketching, and I thought there was a little bit of room on this page, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna like pop her in, and you can play with her if you want to, or perhaps colour her in, or something. So I left her in, and then I was thinking kind of like, because this is coming up towards autumn, I thought I'd start sort of getting some autumn. I'm feeling quite autumnal, so I thought I'd kind of get some autumny bits in there for you. So like a little fawn girl. Some more kind of autumnal illustrations, a couple of acorns, a little owl, little squirrel, little dude. My tea drinking has increased again. I barely drank any tea in August, just too hot. But since like this last week, I have done nothing but drink tea. I've had a teapot on the go constantly, and I just keep topping it up with hot water, um, and throwing an extra tea bag in every now and then. So yeah, I felt like the tea was coming back in. That's a big thing for autumn for me, is the tea, and I really enjoy like. I'm on the chamomile at the moment because I don't have any autumn tea bags, but soon the spiced apple and the chai and all that's going to start coming out. So feeling autumnal. Green Man. Now the Green Man I created for the was it the July or August Brimble's box, the Fairy Tale Forest one, and a couple of you asked if you could have him in your patrons, your collage sheets. And yeah, why not? So there he is. I've left him really big for you guys because I thought some of you might like to kind of use him in a different way, like frame him or something. So he's A5 size ish. But yeah, so you can kind of like play around with him. I also tweaked him a little bit and made him brown so that if you kind of like, I don't know, if you wanted to document like the changing in autumn or something, you've got both the green, the more green, so he's the more green and he's the more browny red. So you've got a couple there that you can kind of play around with. I'd really love to see what you do with him, how he ends up, like how you use him. I really enjoyed creating him. He was good fun. So that's it. That's all the collage sheets for this month. I hope you really enjoy them. And as always, I really can't wait to see what you create with your collage sheets. Thanks, guys. Bye.